Good morning, guys. Good morning, everybody. Today, of course, we're gonna continue what we started yesterday. We started explaining um, the poetry for this year, and we said that the poem that we have this year is "Day." This poem, guys, is a wonderful poem. You're gonna like it, of course, and maybe you have background about this poem because I know that last year when you were in primary six you had taken this one before and you have a good background about it. Okay, so let's continue our work today. And of course, as you can see here, there was something that we didn't mention yesterday, and I told you that I'm gonna say this today, inshallah. It was the last thing or the last element of the figures of speech that we need to discuss together. If you remember yesterday, we had talked about many things. We talked about the figures of speech like the simile, like the metaphor, like the contrast, alliteration, and so on. And of course, if you want to go back and check these things, you have the video on YouTube, and you can go back and watch and listen to every word. That will make you sure that you understand the figures of speech because it's a question in your exam, inshallah. Okay, to get the figures of speech out of one of the stanzas that you have, inshallah, in the exam. So the last part that we didn't mention yesterday was the repetition, as you can see here, repetition. And repetition, guys, it comes from the verb repeat. So here is the thing, I'm searching for the repeated words or the repeated parts in the stanzas. For example, guys, we check the word or the phrase that is repeated, and we take these things and consider them, guys, as repetition. And what's the use or how it's useful to get repetition in the poem? It gives us internal music. As you can see here, this is the function for the repetition. It gives internal music. Okay, I hope that this part is clear for all of you guys. And of course, we're gonna go and see how to get the repetition in each and every stanza in our poem today. Guys, let's start. So we have the poem Day. This is the title. And of course, the poet, the person who wrote this poem, his name is Sir Cecil Spring Rice. He was born in sorry, of course, he was one of the most important poets of at this time, of course, and he was born in 1859 and died in 1918. Okay, of course, guys, he was educated at Oxford University. He worked as a British ambassador in the United States. He wrote poems for his country and for children to help them see and love the world around them, and of course bond with it. I mean, to have good relations with the whole world around them. Okay, guys. So this is very important. Something now about the poet. Let's move to the poem itself. The poem itself is easy. You're not going to find difficult words. Maybe very few words that you need to know the meaning of just to understand and to be able to paraphrase the whole poem. So stanza number one, guys. I'm busy, said the sea. I'm busy, think of me. Making continents to be. I am busy, said the sea. And the word continents, guys, it's like Africa, it's like Asia, like America. It's a continent, okay? So moving on, we have stanza number two. I'm busy, said the rain. When I fall, it's not in vain. I mean, it's not useless, it's useful. When the rain falls, it's useful. Wait, and you will see the grain. I am busy, said the rain. Stanza number three, here is the thing. We have air talking here. So I am busy, said the air, blowing here and blowing there, up and down and everywhere. I'm busy, said the air. Stanza number 4, I am busy, said the sun. All my planets, every one, know my work is never done. I'm busy, said the sun. Number 5, sea and rain and air and sun. Here is a fellow toiler, one, whose task will soon be done. As we can see, guys, before we move to everything and explain and paraphrase and get the figures of speech, can you see here the first stanza? Who is speaking here, guys? The speaker here should be the sea. The stanza number 2, the speaker should be rain. Speaker number 3 should be air. Speaker number 4, the sun. And speaker number 5 here should be the poet himself, speaking to the air, the sun, and the sea. Okay? He told them at the end that he is a friend of them and he does work like them exactly. Okay? But there is one difference between him and between those things. Okay? That is, he, as human, he's gonna die, but they will continue for the whole life. Okay? So let's see here, guys. Those new vocabulary, we have continents. We said it's big masses of land such as Europe, Asia, and Africa. We have the word in vain. It means useless or without use, or it's not useful. We have the word grain, the seeds like wheat and rice. We have blowing, a mean for the air or the wind moving along. The word planets, like the earth, it's a planet. We have the word fellow. Fellow, it means a friend, and this is very important word. Toiler, it's worker. Toiler, it's worker. And then the word task, it's duty. Okay? The word task, it means duty. So we have the main idea here, or the theme of the poem. What's the main idea, guys? The poem is about some of the world's most wonderful and busiest workers. When we have finished our task, they will still work hard. Guys, I'm speaking here about air, sun, sea. They are like workers, okay? They work till the end of the life. And it's like a comparison between the man or the human with these things or these elements. The poet talks about the work of the nature as it goes smoothly and non-stop. The poet says that he is a fellow worker, but unlike the sea, rain, air, and sun, his task will soon be done because he will die. Because he is gonna die one day, okay? But they will continue work. So guys, as you can see here, we have stanza number 1. Stanza number 1, if you remember, it was talking about guys, the sea. Okay, so just a second here. Yeah, stanza number 1, I'm busy, said the sea. I'm busy, think of me, guys. Okay, he needs us to think of how important is the sea, making continents to be. I mean, he shaped or he forms the continents like Africa, Asia, and so on. I'm busy, said the sea. I'm doing lots of jobs. Okay, so let's read here the paraphrase for this stanza. Yes, the paraphrase for this stanza, guys, is the poet says that the sea says that it's a busy worker. We must think of its work. How important is it? As it's important, it builds up continents and lands on which we live. Okay? Guys, if you remember, we said something about the rhyme scheme yesterday, and we're gonna figure out what's the rhyme scheme here with one of our friends. Okay, let's see. If somebody's ready to get the figure, to get the rhyme scheme in stanza number 1, please just raise your hand. Okay? Okay, we're gonna take Abdurrahman. Good morning, Abdurrahman. Mm-hmm.
Good
Not
morning, Mister.
Good morning, Abdurrahman. Abdurrahman, if you remember the rhyme scheme we said yesterday, it's the sound at the end of each line. And we give each sound one of the alphabetical letters or the letters that we have in English. The first sound will take the first letter in English. If we have another sound or new sound, it's going to take the second letter. So A, B, and so on. And if we have a repeated sound, it will take the same letter that we gave to the one before. Okay, so I am busy said the C. We're gonna give the first line letter
A,
A. Perfect. I'm
A,
busy think of me. Do you think it's the same sound like C, me?
A.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same sound. C, me. Sure. Making continents to be. What do you think?
Again, A, Mister.
Sure. Thank
It's all.
you.
It's all like
Perfect. I'm busy said the C. The last line should take also letter A. So it means, Abdurrahman, that the whole stanza will take letter A, and the rhyme scheme in the exam, inshallah, if you're going to write rhyme scheme for this stanza, it's going to be letter A because the end of each line is the same sound. C, me, B, C again. Thank you, Abdurrahman. That's awesome. Thank you so much. So let's get out the figures of speech in this stanza, guys. Okay, we said the rhyme scheme, now we know it. Okay, so we have personification. And who remembers, guys, what's personification? Who remembers? Can we pick somebody to tell us what's personification? Okay, let's take Ra'a. Hi, Ra'a, how are you?
Fine, thanks.
Perfect. Okay, Ra'a, what's personification? If you remember correctly, what was the personification?
When the thought gives like an object, like says as it's a person.
Perfect. Yes, we give where the poet gives a non-living thing or an object the characteristics or the qualities of a human. Okay. So let's see here, Roa. I am busy. Okay. Who was speaking in the first stanza, guys? The sea. Is that correct? Yeah. So the sea is saying, I am busy. Do you think that the sea is the person who's gonna be busy? Of course not. So the poets here give us like personification because the poet gives the sea the image of a busy person. So I am busy. Here is a personification because the poet gives the sea the image of a busy person. Thank you so much, Shira. That's perfect. So, guys, do we have another personification here? Yes, we have. Said the sea. Hey, the sea is speaking? Of course not. But the poet here gives the sea the image of a person who can talk. Okay, it's not difficult, guys. I mean, if you understand today what we're saying, this means that you can find out how to get the figures of speech without memorizing them. I mean, personification, something that we give it the image of a person doing something. So I am busy. So this is the sea speaking here or saying I'm busy. It's a personification. Said the sea, the poet gives the sea the image of a person who can talk. It's the same idea. Okay, perfect, guys. Thank you so much, Ru'a. So moving on, guys, let's take something else here. So in the same stanza, we have alliteration. And who remembers what was the alliteration? Who remembers, guys? Need somebody here. Alliteration. Okay, let's take Lena. Good morning, Lena.
Good morning, mister.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Perfect. Okay. So, Lena, do you remember the alliteration? How can we get or know the alliteration in the stanza?
When two words start with the same letter.
Yeah, two or more words start with the same consonant letter on the same line. Okay, we have to remember these things here, Lana. So I mean here, two or more words on the same line start with the same consonant letter. Okay, so we have here said and see. They start with the same consonant letter, S and S. So this is alliteration. This is alliteration. And how is the alliteration useful, guys, in the poem? What does it give us?
It gives us music to appeal our sense of hearing.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lena. Thank you so much. That's perfect. You're awesome. So it gives us music to appeal or to attract our sense of hearing. Thank you. Okay, so the last thing that we talked about today, we talked about repetition. When we have a word or a phrase that is repeated more than one time. Okay, so we have I am busy in line 1. I am busy is repeated again in line 2. And I am busy is repeated again in line 4. And you need to correct this in your booklet, guys. The thing is that I wrote in red. These things needs to be corrected, okay, in your booklet. So if you have the booklet now, you can correct them. So the repetition with I am busy will be in line number 1, 2, and 4. And how is the repetition useful, guys? Okay, we use the repetition to emphasize or for emphasis it gives internal music. So emphasis, it means to make the meaning powerful and assure the meaning, to make sure that the meaning is clear for the one we are talking to. So again, the repetition is useful because it is used for emphasis and it gives internal music. Do we have repetition? Again, let's see here. I am busy, said the sea. The whole line is repeated, number 1. And I am busy, said the sea. The whole line is repeated in number 4. Okay? Or line 4. 2 lines are repeated here. So we use that for emphasis and it gives internal music. Hopefully the stanza number 1 is clear, guys. We need to be quick as much as we can. I think number 1 is clear, so this will make it easy for us to continue quickly the next stanzas. We have stanza number 2. Who was speaking in stanza number 2, guys? Let's take one of our friends here. Let's take Hala. Morning, Hala.
Good morning, Mister.
Okay, so Hala, what do you think stanza number 2? Who was speaking here in stanza number 2?
The sea.
Stanza number 1 was the sea. Okay. Stanza number 2 should be the
rain, sorry.
perfect, no worries. Okay, so the rain here is speaking. So let's get the figures of speech together right now. I'm gonna ask and you will answer today. Okay, so Hannah, do we have a personification here?
Personification.
Yeah, I mean something or object that we give the qualities or the characteristics as human.
Said the rain.
Perfect. I am busy and said the rain. Here is the thing, we have personification here. I am busy. The poet gives the rain the image of a busy
person who can talk.
Yeah, a busy person, and said the rain, an image of a person who can talk. Thank you so much. You're my girl. Yes. Okay, so do we have a repetition here? Something is repeated?
Yes, I am busy line 1, 2, and 3.
Line 1, okay. But 2 we don't have, 3 we don't have, line 4 we have. Okay, so this needs to be correct. I know that the booklet has things like this, but you need to correct it right now with me. Okay, so let's see, guys. Okay, so what about the rhyme scheme before you leave, Hannah? What about the rhyme scheme? We said the whole stanza, stanza 1 was A. What do you think of stanza number 2? Rain. What letter should we take here for the rhyme scheme? Okay, I'm gonna answer this question. So it's gonna be letter B, rain, vein, letter B again, grain, letter B again, and rain, letter B again. So this is the rhyme scheme. Let's go ahead and check here what we have. In stanza number 2, the poet says, this is the paraphrase, and it's very important. When I ask you to paraphrase the stanza, you need to write these two lines. The poet says that the rain talks about its importance and hard working. When it falls, it helps crops to grow. Okay, plants to grow. So rhyme scheme is gonna be B, 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 B. Figures of speech, personification, said the rain. The poet gives the rain the image of a person who can talk. Do we have alliteration? Yes, we have alliteration with the word wait and the word well. They start with the same consonant letter, W. It gives music to appeal our sense of hearing. Guys, hopefully that this one is clear, also like the previous one. Okay, so let me see if we have something else that we can add to stanza number 2. Yes, we have repetition, like Hannah said. She said, I am busy, line 1, and I am busy, line 4 is repeated. And we use this for emphasis, and it gives internal music. Repetition again in I am busy, said the rain, the whole line. I am busy, said the rain, the whole line. Line 1 and line 4. It's the same idea, guys. Okay. Stanza number 3. Let me ask one of you who is speaking here. Let's take Sharif. Morning, Sharif. How are you? Sharif, you're here. Sharif is not here. Okay, so we have Yusuf Ashraf.
Hi,
Hi,
Mr.
Yusuf. How are you?
Fine.
Perfect. Okay. I am busy, said the sun. All my planets, everyone. No, my work is never done. I'm busy, said the sun. So who is speaking here?
The speaking is the sun.
Yeah, the speaker here is the sun. Okay. So the poet used the sun to speak in this stanza and tell us how important it is. Okay. So let me ask you a question here. Do we have a personification again here?
Yes.
Sure. Where?
Instead the sun.
Said the sun, and I am busy. Okay, we give the sun the image of a person who is busy or the image of a person who can talk. That's perfect. Okay, so do we have a repetition?
Yes.
Yeah, I am busy. In
I'm
line,
busy in line
on line 1
1 and
and
line 3.
line 4.
And 2.
Okay, this is incorrect in the booklet, so we need to correct this with me right now. It's line number 1 and line number 4. I am busy. Okay, so Yusuf, let's go back together and read the paraphrase for this stanza. Okay,
Oh.
what does the sun try to tell us here? Okay, I'm sorry.
The sun tries to say.
Just a second, Yusuf. I'm sorry for something. Just a
Okay.
second. Yeah, okay. No, stanza number, I'm sorry. This is stanza number 4. We need stanza number 3. It was the air. I'm sorry, Yusuf. Let's take stanza number 3 first. I am busy, said the air, blowing here and blowing there, up and down, everywhere. I am busy, said the air. Perfect. So we have the same personification. I am busy and said the air. Okay. Do we have contrast here, guys? Do you remember the contrast here, Yusuf?
Yes.
Yeah, do we have contrast here?
Yes.
What is the contrast here?
Up and down.
Up and down, perfect. What about here and there?
Yes,
Yeah.
there are contrast.
Yeah, it's a contrast, perfect. Okay, so let me go ahead and see stanza number 3. Stanza number 3, the air talks about his job, just blowing here, there, and everywhere, cooling down the weather, carrying clouds, and helping us to breathe. Okay, the rhyme scheme should be C, C, C. And personification, like Yusuf mentioned, said the air, okay? And we have contrast between here and there, up and down. Okay, how is the contrast useful, Yusuf?
This show that the air is blowing everywhere.
Yeah, and you remember in Arabic we said the contrast or the words that they are opposite, they make the meaning powerful and clear. Powerful and
Clear.
Clear, perfect. And this is the use of the contrast. Okay. Do we have a repetition here? Yeah, we said that we have.
I'm busy.
Yeah, perfect. Let me check that for you. The repetition here, guys, as you can see, I am busy line 1 and I am busy line 4. And it used for emphasis and it gives internal music. Okay. The repetition also, line number 1 and line number 4. The whole line is repeated. Internal music, and we use it for emphasis. Okay. Thank you, Yusuf. That's perfect. Let's take somebody for stanza number 4. Okay. What about Saif? Saifuddin, how are you, Saif?
I'm fine, mister.
How are you, Saif? Okay. So Saif, stanza number 4, we said that the sun is speaking here. Okay. So what does the sun try to tell us? Can you read this two lines? These two lines. I mean the paraphrase of stanza number 4.
Okay.
Yeah. The poet.
The poet says that the sun says that is working.
Yeah.
Everyone and all the plants
Planets.
know that the planet that the work of the sun never finishes. It always shines.
Yeah, perfect. So the sun is very important. Is that correct, Saif? It gives us heat and light. It always shines. And of course,
Yes.
its work never finishes, okay? And of course, all of us and even the planets like Earth, like Mars and so on, we know how important the sun is, okay? Perfect.
Yes.
So what's the rhyme scheme here? Let's go to the stanza and get out the rhyme scheme by ourselves. So we said stanza number 1 for A, stanza number 2 for B, stanza number 3 for C. What about stanza number 4? Sun, everyone, done, sun again. So what do you think we're gonna put here? Safe.
D.
Rhyme scheme here should be D. Perfect.
D.
For the 4 lines. Thank you so much. Safe. Perfect. Let's take here the figures of speech in this stanza. We have said the sun, and we, all of us now, know that it's very easy to get personification. Said the sun, the poet gives the sun the image of a person who can talk. Alliteration, said and sun. They start by the same consonant letter, S here and S there. It gives us music to appeal our sense of hearing. This is the use of the alliteration. Repetition, yeah, we have repetition, and correct this in your booklet, guys. I'm busy line 1 and I'm busy line 4. It's repeated, okay? This is stanza number 4. You're perfect, guys. You're awesome. Okay, do we have something else here? Yes, we have. Okay, we can see here that the repetition is important to emphasize the meaning, and it gives internal music. We have also repetition with the 2 lines, line 1 and line 4. Both lines are repeated, the same words, and we used it for emphasis the meaning, and it gives internal music. Stanza number 5, who's ready? I want us some help here. Who will be ready to help me in stanza number 5? Let me check here the participant list. Okay. Let's take, okay, Muhammad Meher. Hi, Muhammad, how are you?
I'm fine.
Perfect, good to hear, man. So let's go and check stanza number 5, and you're gonna help me, Muhammad, with that one, okay? So stanza number 5, sea and rain and air and sun. Here is a fellow Tyler. So the speaker here is the poet himself, is speaking to the sun, the rain, the air, and the sea. Okay, what did he try to tell them? He told them that he is a fellow toiler. What do I mean by fellow toiler? Or the word fellow? What do you think? The word fellow here, it means what? Okay, let me help you with that. The word fellow is a friend. And toiler, it's like worker. So he's trying to tell them, guys, that he is, how can you complete this? Muhammad Maher, you're here? Okay, Muhammad, it seems that he left us. Okay, so let's take Omar Ahmed. Omar, you're
Hi.
here? Hi, Omar.
Yeah.
Sure, Omar. I've just said that a fellow toiler, it means a friend, worker. Okay.
Yeah.
So the poet here is telling the sun, the air, the sea, and all these elements, the nature elements. He told
Yeah.
them that he is a,
He's what?
he is an enemy or a friend.
No, he is a friend.
Yeah, he is a friend. And is he a worker like them?
Yes.
Yes, he is a worker like them. I mean, he does lots of jobs like them. They work and he works. Okay? But
Okay.
there is only difference.
That he will die.
Yeah, thank you so
Nature
much.
not.
Perfect. He will die one day because he's a human. He has like limited time, or he has like limited number of years to live, but they will continue forever working and doing their jobs. Okay?
Yes.
Yeah, that's perfect, Omar. Thank you. So let's move, Omar, to the things that we need to get here. This is the paraphrase of stanza number 5. Can you go ahead, please, and read the paraphrase for stanza number 5? The poet
Okay.
talks. Mhm.
The poet talks to the elements of nature, saying that he is their friend and he works too, but his work will be finished soon because he will die one day. His work is not important or uh, ending as
Un-
theirs.
Unending as theirs. I mean, his work is limited, but their work is not limited, unending. Okay, they will last forever. They, here, I mean the sun, the air, rain, and so on, they will last forever working and doing their jobs. Okay, what's the rhyme scheme before you leave us, Omar, here in stanza number 5?
Uh, uh, D, D, D.
It's perfect. Thank you so much, Omar. You're awesome. Thank you. So I need somebody to tell me the commentary on this poem, the whole poem. What do we get from this poem? Let's take here. Okay, we need to take Yara. Hello, Yara. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning, Yuyu. Okay, so Yara, what do you think of the commentary? We need to comment on the whole poem here. The poem consists of, yeah, can you read this for me?
Yeah, sure. The poem consists of 5 stanzas. The language used is simple but beautiful. The rhyme scheme is easy and regular. There are some personifications, alliterations, and constraints.
Thank you so much. You were awesome. That's perfect,
Thank
really.
you.
So, guys, this is the end of the explanation of this poem. And let me arrange everything for you now. Now you have a stanza in your exam, for example. Okay, what should we ask you to do with this stanza? We ask you first to paraphrase the stanza. Paraphrase, we said it means to explain the stanza using your own words. Okay, this is the first question you may get. We need sometimes, guys, to get the figures of speech. Like what? Like personification, like alliteration, contrast. Okay, if you have a lot, please get all of them and put them in your on your paper. Okay, no worries. You write the figures of speech that you know in this stanza that you will get in the exam. If we are asking you about the rhyme scheme, you know how to get the rhyme scheme. It's the sound at the end of each line, you give a letter. And somebody will ask me here, should we memorize the whole stanza and know every rhyme scheme for each one. If you can do this, that's fine. If you cannot, so just focus on the stanza that you have in your exam. The stanza that you have, give it the rhyme scheme like you don't have any other stanzas. So you have a stanza in the exam, give it letter A, letter A, letter A, letter A, again, no worries. And if you have something different or another sound or different sound or more than one stanza, deal with them the same way. The new sound will take a new letter. The first sound, letter A. A new sound, take letter B. And so on. Okay? Guys, now I need all of you to lower your hands. And the one who has a question, please raise your hand. If somebody has a question, please raise your hand. Okay, I can see that nobody has a question here. So this means that all of us are okay with this poem. And if you have any question in the near future, of course, prepare those questions. We will have other online sessions. And you can, of course, give me the questions that you have, inshallah, to be able to answer them and make it clear for every one of you. Okay? Thank you, guys. You're awesome as usual. And I'm happy to be with you again and again and again. So please stay safe and see you, inshallah, on Wednesday. Thank you and bye-bye, all of you guys.